I had to make the tough decision to remove my toad Meatball from his paludarium to make room for my new goldfish. Unfortunately, this made Meatball homeless. It's a good thing I have another tank lying around, but it's cracked and caked with minerals and filthy, so it's gonna need a full restoration before it can be a suitable home for Meatball. So let's get to work. I scraped off the minerals with a razor blade from a box cutter, which worked, but would create some serious problems later. By this time, Meatball was missing his swamp paludarium and feeling nostalgic about his tadpole days. I couldn't help but be reminded of my tadpole days in my old home as well. Those were the days I spent exploring the woods.
Are you allowed to have toads anymore? Why not? You stomped on it?
I've come a long way since my toad stomping days. Anyways, back to the build. As I finished cleaning the tank, I realized I made a huge mistake. The blade I used was in bad shape, and it ended up scratching up the glass. So after I patched the crack with silicone, I tried to get rid of those scratches. I thought it might be a good idea to put a very thin coat of epoxy resin on the glass to fill in the scratches. It worked to hide the scratches, but left a lumpy mess on the glass. At this point, Meatball pretty much lost all hope in my terrarium building skills, so he sought out a real estate agent to help him do some house hunting of his own, in case I couldn't pull it off. But I kept at it. I removed the epoxy with a better blade and some paint thinner. Somehow, all of this seemed to reduce the scratches, and that meant it was time to prepare Meatball's in-ground swimming pool. To make his pool, I just stuck pebbles onto a piece of Tupperware using some silicone. Once that was looking good, it was finally time to get started on setting up Meatball's new home. I started with a layer of pebbles and charcoal, followed by Meatball's favorite stick and his new pool. Then I added a couple little trees and a healthy layer of dirt. Meatball seemed to really enjoy his cave in the last paludarium, so I'm making him another one here. But even with that in place, it wasn't looking very homey yet, and Meatball certainly isn't holding out hope that I'll be able to put it together. After all, no home is complete without plenty of plants. To me, a home is somewhere I feel safe and comfortable. It's a place where I feel that I belong and have people whom I love. As a Christian, my true home is with God in heaven, but for now, my home is with my wife in a tiny $200 apartment in Argentina. I long to go back to the place I used to call home, the woods and the Blue Ridge Mountains. If all goes well, by the end of this year, I hope to be under those trees again, this time with my wife. That'll be the first time she sets foot on US soil. I really look forward to showing her where and how I grew up, the stream I played in, the woods I explored, and of course, the people I love. The old home of my tadpole days. I made a little bit of a mess, but the terrarium looks good, so let's make it bioactive. I added some botanicals, isopods, and even some blue death feigning beetles. They should be big enough for now that Meatball won't make a quick snack out of them. With the terrarium teeming with life, it was looking so good that even Meatball was impressed, which meant it was finally ready to be Meatball's new home. If you enjoyed this wholesome little video as much as Meatball is enjoying his new pool, then please help me out by leaving a like and a comment, and maybe consider subscribing for more wholesome and creative content like this. God bless.